Not yet. Yes. Oh
Now
my
we're live.
goodness. Oh, drum roll. Ooh. Bam. And we are
Hey.
live. Well, that took me 10 seconds, but that's all right. Hello, Simone. Hello, everybody. Hello, Joy of Business. We are here today to speak about Joy of Business. Say
Mm-hmm.
what? With the amazing Simone Milasis. And I'm so excited to be on with you. I hope my internet is okay. Um, but
It's
yeah,
okay for
please.
me now. So
All
let's
right,
go with that.
cool.
Let's go with that. Yeah.
Okay, great, great. Let's have it like that for the live. So thank you, Simone, for being on. I am so, so excited for this conversation. And I wonder what we can explore with Joy of Business that we haven't gotten to yet.
Well, for me, it's like business is a constant exploration of everything. And I just want to say thank you for asking me to do this as well, Aman. And also thank you to all the translators behind the scenes. You guys just are my heroes. You rock.
Amazing.
I was talking to someone yesterday. I was actually out on my veranda having a gin and tonic at El Lugar. Very, very nice, listening to the monkeys and the birds. And we were talking about business. We were actually talking about El Lugar and one of the, I guess, departments, and how they were saying to me how they were looking to choose something so it was more like an answer or a solution. And they were talking to Gary Douglas about it, and he was like, no, it's never an answer or solution. And we had this conversation because I said, it's, for me, the most attractive thing to me about business is that it's malleable. It's like there's nothing, like as you choose something, you know, you may head in this direction, but as you head in this direction, something over here, and you go, oh, hang on, this. Oh no, hang on, this. And you've got everything in your awareness and everything in your like field of possibilities. Like there's possibilities everywhere, but it's knowing to go this now. Oh, let's have some patience here. Let's choose this. Like knowing where you're slowing something down, you're stopping something, but also where you're speeding something up, which is an energy of force rather than allowing something different to show up. Like it's, to me, business is such a, you've got a blank canvas. It's a work of art and it's constantly changing every day.
I love that. That's really cool. And that brought also my attention to not having expectations and how much when you do have expectations, business can not really be malleable.
No, well, you literally, when you have an expectation, you stop it. So, you know, I was saying, I gave this analogy yesterday, and it's like if you play hockey or soccer or anything like that, if the ball gets through, you can't blame the goalie. It's gone through the whole entire team, and then the goalies let it go through. So there's a whole like crew of people that are involved. And to look at something and go, okay, if I hire this person, because how many people, this is a big topic, how many people hire someone and have the expectation, this will solve my problem. They will be the one that connects. They will be the one that makes more money. They will be the one that does this. And this poor person's coming onto a job or coming into a project. And most of the time, it's not verbal expectations, it's energetic. And those energetic expectations and projections create this like, they create a separation. Basically they create a separation from what's truly possible, because someone's going, oh, they should be doing this, but nobody in the world is going to do anything like you do it. Like it just doesn't work like that. What if someone gave you and me a job, a project, etc., and 10 other people, not one of us would do it the same. And for me, that's the beauty. But you need to let go of control, and you need to let go of expectations.
Yeah, and that is how you let the world see your beauty and your uniqueness. Like none of the amazing artwork or any creations in the world would have happened if the people did it like everybody else,
No, it'd be
which is,
boring.
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be boring. So it's like, how many of you are trying to create your business the same as somebody else, which is boring? And my question is, are you bored yet? You know, are you trying to do something normal? Are you trying to do like standard operating procedure? Or what I also see is, you know, like that industry standard. if you're in a restaurant, or if you're in a courier business, or whatever, planes, like, are you trying to operate from that standard operating procedure rather than be in question of what you would like to choose? Like, one of my favorite stories is Richard Branson. Love him. He's got some great books out. One of the books I really like is called Business Stripped Bare, because he talks about all of these things that he confronted and what he chose. Like, say, for example, he wanted to do a deal with this bank in England, and he asked them, no, they said no. Asked them again, no. 10 times they said no. So he kept going, what do they need to hear? What do I need to change? What needs to happen here? And it was like the 14th time or something that they went, okay, yes, right? And then when he created Virgin Atlantic, British Airways came in and said, no, you can't do Virgin Atlantic. That's our route. We've got that. And he was like, why can't I? Like, you're flying, why can't I fly too? And the same thing in Australia, when he created Virgin Blue, Qantas said, no, there's not enough people. We've got the monopoly here. And he went, why not? And then when he came in with Virgin Blue, Qantas had to reduce their prices. And there became this, like, I call it like a healthy competition, because there was choice for people. But how many of you are trying to do this industry standard, or you think there's not enough room for you? There is enough room for you. You just have to actually choose and take some action.
Oh my goodness, I love that. And that is contributing to me so much. I just have to say that, because that's kind of the usual thing that you would maybe go to, or it might be just for me, but looking at different business ideas and seeing, oh, maybe the market is like, just
Full.
full with that, and is there really a demand? And then I really started to look at lately at all my points of view of where I'm not looking at what I can add to that particular market, and just looking at it as something that is already full, and concluding that there is no room for me. Exactly what you said. And
Yeah. You've brought up some really beautiful points, Aman. Like, to start off with, what if we had no expectations, and what if we had no projections, and what if there was no conclusions? Because every time you go to expectations and projections and conclusions, you literally shut down what is actually possible, because you've already defined what it has to look like, rather than allowing a different possibility. And I love the way you said, what can I add to this? Because that's a question. And, you change every day. You're not the same as you were yesterday. You're not the same as you were this morning. And we all change every day. Our bodies are changing all the time. Why will we not let our businesses change? Why will we make that so stagnant, rather than that question of, what can I add to this project today? What can I add to this class today? What can I add to this business today? What can I add to this financial reality today? Like, being in question and not conclusion, from being willing to also, which is another thing, being willing to be out of control. I mean, how many control freaks are out there listening to this right now? And I'm putting my hand up, right? Aman's putting 2 hands up. I'll put 2 hands up. I am a control freak of magnitude, right? But what I have acknowledged is, it never gets me anywhere, ever. Now, there's a moment where you can come in and you go, you need to change something, and you need to not ignore it. So you can choose something, say something, and something pivots and it moves and it goes over here, and you open up another door. But if you're trying to control how something shows up, like that example I gave before of, if we all worked on the same project, let people be who they be. They might actually have a better idea than you. But if you're a control freak that thinks that nobody can do the job better than you, nobody can do the business better than you, you've just limited everything. And that was one of the key tools that I learned from Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, at a class, one of the first classes I ever traveled to with Access Consciousness in San Francisco. It was literally called the business class. And it's on actually the app, Access Me. If you have the app, you can hear me in the crowd, like I'm such a rookie. And I'm
I love that class.
Yeah, it's amazing. But I'm having all these awarenesses, and I'm sitting in the front row looking at Gary, just being like, oh my God. Because the thing is, for me, like, you, if you're listening and you're here now, or you're listening to this later, do you know a lot of this, right? but nobody's talking about it and nobody's empowering you. You know, you think you're meant to follow the rules of this reality. What if you're not? What if you're meant to follow what you know? And so me sitting in this front row of this business class with Gary Douglas, like, gosh, it probably was like 24 years ago, 23 years ago. And sitting in that front row, just being like, oh my God, nobody's talking to me about this. Like, it was so profound, the things that I was being empowered with. And the number one thing that I took from that was I had the point of view, nobody could do the business as well as me. Nobody could do sales, accounting, like anything as good as me. So then who was I hiring? I was hiring people who couldn't do it as good as me. So the first thing I did was I went home and I started asking for people to show up who were better than me, people who enjoyed sales more, who enjoyed accounting more, who enjoyed organization more, people who were greater and better than me. And the piece here that I see showed up for me and shows up for a lot of people. They go, oh, but if everyone's better than me at this, then what do? I become useless. You know what? That is one of the greatest gifts that you can do in your business, is become useless. Because I can tell you, if you become useless and everybody's, you know, doing their stuff around you, just pause for a second. What are you going to choose? Are you going to choose to be useless, or is it just opening up this whole other universe of possibilities for you to create even greater? That's the ecosystem of business that I want to play with, like that energy.
I love that. And that allows you as a creator to go and create some more. You don't have any more to control what is already there. And if you want to create more in the world, then that's one way to do it.
Yep. You are no longer limited.
Yes.
We had no limitations with what we could choose. Like, really, what else is possible? Like, what else is possible? Use that as a tool. What else is possible? Okay. Not like what else is possible with my business, what else is possible with money, because that's more of a demand of that. And it tends to, tend to have that energy of the projections. I'm asking, what if you literally woke up every morning, or every time you think about it? Like, a lot of the times in, like, I always like have these ideas in the shower, but even if you're in the shower, what else is possible? Ask what else is possible. Like, I'm currently at El Lugar in Costa Rica, this beautiful, amazing property that we have. And I'm one of the biggest investors in this property. I have a horse here, all of this, right? I'm here for Christmas. It's great. It's amazing. I come here a lot. Now, my point of view many, many years ago was I could never afford to go to Costa Rica. I could never afford this. I could never afford that. I couldn't do this. What I've been talking about, I just did a live before, if you want to catch the replay of that, Getting Out of Debt Joyfully, is how many of you are choosing your finances and your business from a statement of poverty, a statement of lack, a statement of doubt, rather than, nope, no more. Like right now, this very moment, you don't have to buy any of the lies. You don't have to buy any of the reasons and justifications you have for not choosing something. You need to make that change and just go, I'm not having this as my reality. I'm going to ask for a reality of magic, of miracles, of the joy of business. Let's ask for the joy of business. And what is joy of business for you?
Yeah, and I just want to mention, if you guys are just loving as much this conversation as much as me, easy for me to say, there is so much that Simone has out there, the Joy of Business book, which is translated into so many languages, and the classes, the Joy of Business classes, everything is available for you to have more. And I just wanted to add to the conversation what you just said. One of the things that I love that you say in the book is nobody should have a money problem. And I think that's just, every time I read that, I'm like, okay, that applies to me again. You don't have to have a money problem. And what you just said with the creation of your life, not according to poverty, which is usually not about the money and more about what your point of view is. I just really love how you put it, and I'm so grateful for the tools to really be something out there that you can use to change your money reality in your life if you choose to.
If you choose, exactly. And you know, a lot of people hate it when I say that nobody needs to have a money problem. But if you think you have a money problem, just pause for a moment. It's like, you know, how are you creating that? Because it's like you're choosing that. Every single area of your life, of what you currently are in, whether it's money, relationships, business, your body, all of it, every single area of your life, wherever you are at right now, you're choosing it. So if you don't like it, it's up to you to change it.
What can I choose today? And one of the things that you can also use, I'm doing all my shameless plugs for the Joy of Business. We have a calendar, a Joy of Business calendar that you can add to for free to just your regular calendar, and you can just go on the website. Maybe the amazing tech team can add the link below. And you have a question every day. And recently we've had a thing where there were 3 questions that popped for each day. And I think that is brilliant for this time of the year.
I know. So this is coming out. We're actually going to launch this a few days before New Year's Eve because, I mean, the world there's so much going on at the moment. Can I just say, I highly recommend coming to Elugar either now or next year. There's the crazy going on in the world, and then you come here and it's just like, oh, such a sense of peace. So, but anyway, the links below, I know Anna Marie just put it up there, is accessjoybusiness.com / is it 20? Do you want to put it up again, Anna Maria? accessjoybusiness.com / 2025. It's a free calendar and you download it. And as Iman said, it's like there's a tool that comes up every single day. And it's so interesting how the tools, you know, every time it's applicable. There's a question or a tool or something like that for you. And it's free. It's our gift to you because we would like you, I would like you, everybody I work with, Access Consciousness would like you to have more of you. That's all the tools of Access Consciousness are about that, you having more of you. So I also have, and the reason why we started to do, you know, this live too is to introduce Joy of Business, the book, which is in 20 languages. But I also have a class.
Oh my goodness.
In 20 languages. Isn't that amazing?
That is awesome.
Yeah,
I love that.
I'm proud that it's in 20 languages. It's and a lot of them are in audio as well as written. But I do have a class coming up, Business Done Different, in January, starting in January as well. So you can
and
go
that
there.
also has a lot of languages.
It does have a lot of languages. So you can go to SimoneMillises.com / BDD online. Now, in saying that, I also want to mention and put a big shout out to, there is a lot of Joy Business facilitators and phenomenal facilitators all over the world. The interesting thing is, to begin with, when I wrote this book, Joy Business, Gary said to me, don't call it Joy Business. And I said, why not? And he said, people won't get it. And I went, but that's what it is. And he went, but people won't get it. And I was like, but that's what it is. And every translator goes, Joy of Business doesn't actually really translate very well in our language. And I go, it doesn't translate well in English either. It doesn't, those words together are not meant to make sense, right? Well, what if business, you looked at it in a totally different perspective, one that is actually more congruent with you as a being and you as the possibilities that you are in the world. So if you haven't got it and you want to check it out, accessjoybusiness.com / books. And now there are Joy Business facilitators all over the world in many, many, many different languages. And they do these classes, Business Done Different. They also do a bunch of other classes. But if it's a topic that you're into, please check it out. And if it's a topic that you strongly resist, you might want to check it out too, because it might be something that will change every area of your life. That's what I always notice is if I resist something, like I resisted money. I wanted so badly to create business, like from a really early age. You know, at school, they'd say, what are you going to do when you leave school? What subjects are you going to study? What are you going to do? And I was like, I want to own my own business. And they'd be like, oh, what business? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know yet. I just want to own my own business. Because for me, It was such a way to get things out there into the world, and I wanted to play with that. So that was always my desire from about 15, 16, and I wanted to change the world. I wanted to change the way people looked at themselves, looked at each other, and integrated with the planet, like with everything. I wanted to create an ecosystem through business that was about creating something different, creating something more, and not judgment, not limitation, not destruction, all of this. So that's what I really desired at a really young age. And yeah, here I am now. And it's like the book's out there and there's the classes. And I would just like you to choose everything that you can choose, no matter what it takes, no matter what it looks like. You got this. You've got this.
I love that. You just said it beautifully. And I love that you started creating this from a young age. How does it get any better than that?
Yeah.
With just what you wanted to create and trusting that that is possible no matter what everyone else does or says.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, because if you look at all the businesses that I've created, and I've created a lot, and I've had a lot of jobs, right? And I remember going for an interview at one point, and I showed the guy my resume, and he looked at me and he went, "You do realize that your resume, this looks really bad." And I went, "Why?" And he was like, "Look how many jobs you've done." He said, "You go to a job and you leave it." And he said, he was so cool. He said, "Let me guess." And I went, "What?" And he goes, "You get bored and you leave." And I went, "Yeah." And I said, "I've learned what I've learned. I've learned what I came here to learn, and then I leave." But he was like, "On a resume, it doesn't look great." And I started working with that company, and I just come back from overseas, and I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure what I want to choose now. Like, I was really disheveled from traveling for 3 years. And then all of a sudden everyone, patted me on the back and said, "Well, you got that out of your system. Now you can settle down." And I was like, "What? Settle down?" For me, I was like, this is just the beginning, And I didn't really know where I wanted to lead in or head in. And so I said to him, "Can I have a job in the warehouse packing orders?" And he goes, "You want a job in the warehouse?" He said, "Simone, you're so overqualified for that. I'd love to put you on as, one of the sales managers." I said, "No, I just want to work in the warehouse. I just want to pack orders. I just need to have a moment, because I just didn't know what next, And it's okay to be at that place where you're not sure what next." So he was like, "Okay." So I packed orders in the warehouse, and I did that for a few months, and I was so organized, and I did it really well. And, and then, I moved up, and then I went into sales, and then I went into, head sales, and I headed sales over the whole of Australia, and I would travel all over Australia, and I would do that. And then I remember I walked into his office one day, and he looked at me and he said, "You're leaving, aren't you?" And I went, "I think so." And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Simone, you've reached as high as you can go." He said, "The next step would be for me to give you shares in the company." And he said, "But I haven't even done that to my kids yet." And I was like, "I know." And I was so grateful for everything. And I was so grateful for every single area of that business that I worked in, because I knew how it all worked. Like, when I was in lead salesperson, I knew how the warehouse worked. Like, I knew all of it, and gaining that awareness and that knowledge of all of it was such a gift. So never be shy from choosing anything, It's like, if it pings for you and something like that, you want to work in a warehouse, work in a warehouse, If you want to be lead sales, then go do lead sales, like whatever it is that pings for you. But after that too, I started many different businesses. And one of the things I started was working at markets, like in Sydney. I used to work at a place called Glebe Street Fair, and then Bondi Beach markets. And I would make things like I made even like soaps and glitter and all this sort of stuff. I just wanted to explore what else I could choose. And I was looking for the lifestyle I wanted as well. And I knew I wanted to travel more. And then I started importing and exporting from India and Nepal and Thailand, and working with Tibetan refugee women and Nepalese farming women. And, there's a whole story with how I worked with all of them. And I did that for years, and I would swap and change the businesses. And then I would, so many different things that I chose. And some of them I was really successful at, and some I wasn't. I think that's a really key piece to get is you're going to choose some projects. You're going to choose some businesses that, according to this reality, they're going to say you failed. Like if you lose money, this reality says you failed. Every single time I've had to close a business down, stop a project, or I've lost money, I have gained so much awareness, so much awareness. Those moments in my life and in business have just exploded and exponentialized everything. Now, if I look at the moments where I've made really good money and I've been really successful, the funny thing is they're not as loud because I receive it and I'm like, okay, great. I received a bunch of money. I did this. But the ones where I lost it, you're like, oof, what did I gain there? Okay. So imagine what you would do, or imagine what you would choose if you knew you couldn't fail. Like, please keep moving forward. Business is not about getting it right at all. It's malleable, like we said right at the beginning. Business is about the ability you have to change all the time and to choose all the time and like pivot. It's like, what next, what next, what next? And if there is a moment that you're like not sure, take a breath. Take a breath. Go out in nature and be with you and ask, what is it I would like to create as my future? What is it I would like to create as a business or work with? What industry would you like to work with? Like this morning at breakfast, I was talking about what's very close to my, as I say, close to my heart is all the, like the farming and the regenerative farming and everything like that is being created around the world. It's like people are finally actually having a look at the amount of pesticides we used and maybe we can, there's a very different choice that can be made, but we have to educate ourselves and we have to ask questions and we have to reach in. It's like things don't get, knock on your door and just delivered. You have to ask a question and reach in and talk to somebody and move forward yourself. But that's on you. That's up to you to choose that.
And that's the way you said it is just beautiful, which is following the energy when it comes up and one step in front of the other. Sometimes you make 10 steps and sometimes it's steps backwards, but you're stepping.
Sometimes you stumble and fall and you cut your knee. It's like, what are you going to do? You're going to lie down and cry? You're going to get back up? You can still cry and then get back up and be like, right, now I'm going to go again,
Got that out of my system. Okay, what's next?
What's next? What's next? What else is possible? What else is possible? What else is possible? Yeah.
What else is possible? I love that. Thank you so much, Simone. I think I'm gonna go back to this conversation and listen to it, but also listen to the other live that you did that I wasn't on. And just really thank you. So grateful for you and for Joy of Business and for the book. Every time I read it, it just something different shows up, and I'm grateful for that.
Me too, though. It reminds me of different things. Like someone will say, "Oh, this tool I got in your book," and I'm like, "Oh yeah." Like it's constant. Like there's no right. There's a constant like recall of, "Oh yeah, that tool. That's right."
Yes.
Life can come to us with ease, joy, and glory. Business can come to us with ease, joy, and glory. Like it's possible. As I said, we got to choose it though.
Exactly. And you just reminded me of the other book that you have. You have that I might be resisting a little bit too much, which is the Getting Out of Debt Joyfully, which
you're not the only one.
Fucking amazing. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this in YouTube, but it's amazing. Can we say the F word on YouTube? I don't know.
I have no idea either, but you did.
So I did. So
yeah. Why not? Yeah.
Right.
So
all right. Thank you so much, Simone. Is there anything else you would like to add to this conversation?
Well, thank you, Iman, so much. And thank you, translators and everybody, behind the scenes that's put this together. I'm super grateful. And please have an amazing, happy holidays, happy new year, all of that. The one request I have, stop judging you. We've all got to put some effort in for that, because in some areas of your life, you're like, oh yeah, but then you judge your relationship, or you judge your money, or you judge your family, or you judge your body, or you judge your choices. Stop judging you, okay? Judgment is never going to get you anything greater. So what if that today, this moment, you went, I'm no longer judging myself. It's a good thing I'm cute. Because sometimes I'm not very smart, all right? But it's like, I'm going to choose again.
Yes, choosing
So,
again and choosing you.
yeah.
What else is possible
Yeah, because you
if
are
we
a
all
gift.
did that?
Yeah, you are a gift. Yeah. Cool. Thank you so
Thank
much, Amanda.
thank
And
you
thank
so
you,
much. Thank you,
everybody.
Simone. Thank you, translators and tech team. And thank you, everybody.
And I'll
See you
see you
on
guys next
something
year.
else. Yes.
Bye.